Good day, class. Good day. This is another section for the course speech writing in English language. So this is module 2, the second module for the course. And as I've said earlier in our previous videos, we'll be having 10 different videos like this, and this is the second video. So, and the topic to be treated in this module is communication. So we should know that when we are talking about speech writing, we can't just write off communication, because that is what it's all centered around. Well, that is what speech writing all centered around. It is also a means of communication, a means of passing across information or message to a given audience, whether seen or unseen. So communication is a vital aspect or topic when we are addressing speech writing in English language. So as I've said earlier, we have more of these videos, but let's look at the contents of the module. This second module. For the context, we have the meaning of communication. That is where we'll be looking at the definition, what communication means, maybe according to different scholars, different perspective of the scholars of linguistics. So, and we will also be looking at communication barriers. What are those things that blocks communication, that serve as barriers to communication? We'll also be looking at the intrapersonal communication, the types of communication we have, and the interpersonal communication. And we'll also be looking at organization barrier. So these are the main contents that we'll be looking for in this module. So now, first of all, let's pick it from intrapersonal barrier. Intrapersonal barriers are obstacles to effective communication that originates within an individual. So when it is just as the name implies, intrapersonal, that has to do with personal issue within the speaker or the speech writer. These are barriers. They are barriers or obstacles to effective communication that originates within an individual. That is, it originates from within the speaker himself or herself. So these barriers step from a person's internal thoughts. It happens from the speaker's internal thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, which can hinder their ability to send or receive message accurately. So, and these barriers, we can see that it is capable of hindering the person's ability to receive or to send proper message, accurate message. Sorry. So, intrapersonal barriers, as identified by Rahman and Sharman, 2004, page 24. They are often linked to the following causes, which are: one, we have wrong assumption. So when we have wrong assumption, these are one of the causes of intrapersonal barrier in speech writing. We have wrong assumptions. We have varied perception. So when we see things variedly, and we see things in different perspectives, we have differing background as one of the causes of intrapersonal barrier. We have wrong inferences. We have impervious categories, and we have categorical thinking. So now moving on, we'll also be looking at interpersonal barrier. So according to this course, interpersonal barriers, they are obstacles that arise during communication between two or more people. This is just like the opposite of intrapersonal barriers. We said in intrapersonal barrier, that is an obstacle within the speaker or within an individual. But on the other hand, these interpersonal barriers are obstacles that arise during communication between two or more people. On this stand, this one happens between two or more people, not within the speaker or an individual at the moment. So these barriers can stem from various factors, including differences in communication styles, cultural backgrounds, and emotional states. So these barriers can stem from, it can be rooted from different factors. It could be difference in communication style. That is, these barriers between two or more people can be it can be difference in communication style. It can be difference in cultural backgrounds. It can be an emotional state. So now, according to Rahman and Sharma, 2004, page 28, they identify the following basic interpersonal barrier as limited vocabulary, incognitive or verbal verbal and non-verbal message, emotional outbursts, communication selectivity, cultural variations, poor listening skills, and noise in the channel. So I believe these are, according to Rama and Shaman, these are the basic interpersonal barriers that they identified for us. So when we look at it, these barriers really do happen to most unqualified speechwriter or speaker. So when we have poor listening skill, when you are not attentive enough, when the speaker is not attentive enough, and when there is too much noise, all these can cause interpersonal barriers. So we also have organizational barrier. So the organization barriers are obstacles within an organization that hinders effective communication. The major ones, according to these soap scholars again, Raman and Sharma, 2004, page 34 to 36, are too many transfer stations. There are too many transfer stations, the fear of the superiors, negative tendencies, use of inappropriate media information overload, and the likes. So to conclude with, in this unit, the central focus is on the communication process, specifically exploring the various barriers that can impede effective communications. Just like I have said earlier, that it is important that in communication is an important aspect in speech writing. So anything that is going to block that are the barriers that we looked at previously. These barriers have been examined from intrapersonal, interpersonal, and organizational perspective. That is, we've been able to address these barriers from individual barriers. So, and we have a group, two or more people, a barrier that happens between two or more people, and we have the organizational barrier. So which means that we have been able to address or which got across mainly all the aspects that we have in life. So now we have sorry about that. We have these factors can relate to the writer, the audience, and the organizational context. So in conclusion, finally, effective communication is the foundation of human interaction, and its success depends on the type of communication employed. So that is, it depends on the types of communication employed that we know maybe we are having effective communication or a good speech writing. Thank you.